Good morning and welcome to PNW Today. We are here to talk about college admissions and paying for college. It is application season for the seniors around the region. So I've brought a couple guests with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and we're going to do some PNW announcements, and then we're going to get right into it. So
Hi, everyone. I am Tanika House. I'm one of the Associate Directors of Financial Aid.
And then my name's Raven Chant. I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Admission.
perfect. All right, let's talk about some announcements today. Hispanic Heritage Festival tomorrow night. Come celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with PNW at our third annual Hispanic Heritage Festival. The event will be held Friday, October 13th from 4 to 8 p.m. inside the 169th Street parking garage on the Hammond campus. The event is free and open to the public and will feature live entertainment, family-friendly activities, local food vendors. For more information, come to or go visit pnw.edu/HHM. We would love to see you out there for tomorrow night's event. It's a rain or shine event. Men's ice hockey games. Come out and support the Pride. Catch the PNW men's ice hockey team in action this Friday, October 13th at 7 p.m. against Saginaw Valley State. Games are played at the Cube Sports Complex in Hammond. For more information, visit pnwathletics.com. One Book, One University. PNW is hosting influential clinician, researcher, and scholar Dr. Bruce Perry on Monday, October 16th for its annual One Book, One University author presentation. For over 30 years, Perry has conducted research and provided training and consultation on children's mental health and the neuroscience of trauma. Perry will talk about his book, co-authored with Oprah Winfrey, titled What Happened to You? Conversations on Trauma, Resilience, and Healing. Perry's program is free and open to the public and will take place from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in Alumni Hall at the Student Union and Library Building on the Hammond campus. For more information, visit pnw.edu/onebook. And Late Night Madness. Help kick off a new season of Pride basketball by attending our annual Late Night Madness event. There will be games, prizes, food, and the first 500 attendees will receive a free t-shirt. All activities take place Thursday, October 19th, starting at 9:30 p.m. at the Hammond Fitness and Recreation Center and John Friend Court. For more information, visit pnwathletics.com. All right, we're all set with our announcements for PNW. So let's have a great conversation, ladies, about college recruitment season. So fall is the opening of college recruitment for a lot of seniors around the country. Juniors might also be starting to do some college search in and around the area. But I wanted to bring these two ladies here today. Raven does all of our on-campus events, which includes open house and visits, which are two really important parts of your college search. Mm-hmm. And Tanika focuses on paying for college, which is another thing that I think every parent wants to talk about because college is expensive and families need to know how to access money. So let's start talking a little bit about our biggest event of the season, which is Preview PNW. It's actually Saturday on our Hammond campus. Mm-hmm. We would love to see any high school students and their parents come visit us. It starts at 8:30. So 8:30. If you want to check it out online or register online, you can. But let's just talk a little bit about, Raven, what that event's going to entail. What should families expect? It's a version of an open house that a lot of college campuses will be hosting in the fall. So what can they expect there on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. So Preview is going to give students and their families an opportunity to check out what PNW has to offer. So you'll be able to meet with different faculty, kick it off with a big resource fair to kind of dip your toes into everything we have. Also have some showcases, so you'll be able to see the labs, the different experiments, the different research that our students are doing. And hopefully our prospective students are able to kind of see what resonates with them and help them make the college search a little bit easier. From there, we'll have some different presentations on financial aid, living on campus, we'll talk about the Honors College, we'll talk about different accessibility standards that we set for our students. And then from there, they'll be able to kind of explore campus a little more, get a tour. We won't let you go home hungry, so we'll make sure to feed you lunch while you're there. And then leave with some swag, leave with a little t-shirt and a bag and all that good stuff.
Awesome. So it's like a one-stop shop where you can really talk to everyone on our campus about everything that you have to offer. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So whether you're fully committed and PNW is the one for you or you're still not sure, it's a good opportunity to kind of see what we have and see if it's the right fit and feel for you as a student.
Awesome. And Tanika, your office will be there. So you guys do a
Absolutely.
financial aid presentation. You're also available all day.
Yes.
What can families expect from your presentation or things that you're able to share with them?
Well, for the most part, when it comes to paying for college, we often try to provide some of those resources that may be available for the students and their families. So it could be like scholarship information, a lot of many different type of resources to help pay for college. The financial aid process, financial aid information, 21st Century Scholar information, outside resources, things like that we can share with the students and their families that can help them be prepared, for the most part when it comes to paying for college.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Tanika's
I love
office
it.
also does the presentations in English and Spanish.
Yes,
so
we
if
do.
we have
Oh,
families that might
yes.
not be English first language, Maria does a really great job of
Yes, she
offering
does.
the presentation in Spanish as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they're getting a wealth of information.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
And
I
they
think
go home with some good handouts and swag.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah.
I think it's an intimidating topic. I think people hear about paying for something with a big price tag like college and it makes them panic a little bit. I think Raven will agree one of the great things your
Absolutely.
office does is makes paying for college totally accessible. Like you're able to
Absolutely.
walk into Tanika's presentation and be totally clueless and leave like, oh my gosh, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do this and I think I can do it. I
Yeah.
think I can pay for college.
Yeah.
So
And a lot of times, the students and their families think that college is not affordable.
Yeah.
But it is affordable.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different resources that are available for the students and their families that we can share with them.
yeah, that's so fantastic.
Put them at ease a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
I
yeah.
think too, if like parents are sending their kids off to college for the first time and they've never gone themselves,
Yeah.
like they don't understand everything that is
Totally.
offered to them to kind of lower that
Absolutely.
cost a whole lot,
A whole lot.
Yeah.
or help supplement it as they're in college.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, fantastic.
preview is the best place to like start to learn about that.
The absolute best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we would
Absolutely.
highly recommend if you come on Saturday to
Highly
make sure you
recommend.
go to one of Tanika's presentations about
Yes.
paying for college because I
Yes.
think you'll learn so much more than what's available out there.
Absolutely.
Publicly, I think a lot of this has like a little bit of like mystique about it. Like
Yeah.
your office knows
Yeah.
so much, but the normal parent probably doesn't know a lot of
Yeah,
those
and
things.
then even outside the preview day, they're more than welcome to visit our campus, which is a beautiful campus, I think.
Yeah.
And I've been there almost 20-something years. I don't want to, 20-something years.
date
and-
yourself. Don't
right,
date yourself.
But, when you have a team of people that we call family that can assist the students and their families with the many different resources that are available, it just make them feel at ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raven, can you tell us a little bit about the team that runs a preview with you? Because I think meeting students who are current students is like the coolest part about preview. So
yeah.
tell me a little bit about the ambassadors and the team that like
Yeah.
will be there working the event on Saturday.
Absolutely. So we have a campus ambassador team that will help run the event. There's about 25 to 30 of them. I always lose count. But they represent all the different majors and programs and colleges at the university, ranging anywhere from freshmen to grad students. So, and a lot of them are from the community. So if you're from the community and you come out, there's probably going to be one that's from your high school that you recognize and you can be like, oh, hey, like that's Julie. I went to high school with her. I'm going to go talk to her and see like what it's actually like. I mean,
That's so cool.
students
It
trust
is.
students more than they trust the adults. Let's be serious.
Yeah,
So it's
that's awesome.
it's nice to see that the students are able to like connect with each other, and then for years to come, I mean, my ambassadors will be like, "Oh yeah, I just saw this girl in the cafeteria, and I met her at preview," and like they get this sense of like pride, helping the students
they
along
do.
the way, and
Yeah, love
kind of
that.
guiding them into PNW and life on campus.
Yeah.
So.
Seeing yourself and another student on campus, I think makes you feel the most
Yeah,
at home
absolutely.
or comfortable. You run into someone that makes you think of you and you're like, that could be me.
That
This
could-
is a senior about to graduate. Like, how cool. I want the same major. I'm from the same
Absolutely.
area. Like,
Yeah.
meeting the students is
Yeah.
such an influential part of coming to
It is.
campus. Yeah.
It is.
And I think for like students in the area, like PNW is kind of an obvious choice because it's so close to home. But then like they get on campus and they're very shocked by like how much home feeling is here as well and how
Yeah.
much there is to do and like
Yes.
how many new friends they're able to make and
Yes. Yeah. Love
different
that.
countries that are here that they get to experience their cultures. So it is very cool to like watch the students kind of flourish. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the students also flourish when they help the new students
Yeah,
in.
Yeah, they do.
absolutely. They're like their best on Saturdays or days like Saturday where they get to kind of be on stage and showcase their job and their university.
Yeah.
They just
Yes.
look so proud and cute, like kind of like walking around being so helpful and like completely bragging about PNW. So
Absolutely.
the ambassadors
Yeah.
are just
Yeah.
a great
I
part
love
of
it.
Saturday's event.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
They do a great
They
job.
hate coming in early, but then once we get the day rolling, we get some sweets into them, start them off with
That's
some
all.
donuts, and
Yeah.
they're like, let's go.
That's
And it's one
awesome.
of their favorite days
Great
of the
team.
year.
That's
They are
awesome.
a great team. Yep.
Before we talk about off-campus opportunities for
Yeah.
families in and around the region that PNW offer, if I can't come Saturday, what's another way that I can access a campus visit? Or families, just so you know, like coming to campus is a huge way to get yourself acclimated to a school and kind of do that same one-stop shop, not at an open house. So Raven's office also runs our visits. They sometimes collaborate with Tanika's office
Yes.
if you wanted to speak to financial aid or a professor or go by a classroom. So,
Yeah.
like, how else can a family visit campus if they can't come Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to pnw.edu/visit, and that's kind of like your base of where to see our campus tours and different events that we're offering. But then you could also always email admissions at PNW. They'll connect you with me, and I'll be able to get you set up with a visit. We can personalize your visit so you can meet with faculty or meet with Tanika. Maybe you want to check out the Anamaj table over in the biology building, or check out the tech lab to see where our Baja car is built. Like, we're happy to set those up for you so that your visit is a little more personalized and you get everything that you need out of the day.
And your tour guide will be a student.
The tour guide is always a student,
So
yes.
that's so cool, too,
Yeah.
because you can
Oh, yeah.
meet and talk to someone who's currently a student, hear about their life, talk to them about what's your day-to-day like, and
Yeah.
really get a good
Yeah.
hands-on experience.
There's
So-
always a bunch of students too that are hanging out in the Welcome Center. Like, their friends come in and hang out, and so like it's cool when a tour's starting and I'll walk through and like the students that are going on the tour talking with the current students and be like, oh, you're gonna love it, or this is so
Perfect.
cool, or this professor is great.
They can
So,
relate.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, always a bunch of students to hang around with.
Love that.
Yeah, I love it too.
So off-campus events right now. So if you're starting the recruitment season, you're in high school, you've probably seen a bunch of college reps around your campus. So our team is out and about right now, all of our recruiters in the local high schools all across the region,
Oh, yeah.
doing different things on campus. So I know you travel a lot with
yeah.
some of the recruiters. What are some of the things you guys do in the high school? If a student sees sign up for this session with PNW, why should they sign up for that session, or what they might learn in that session?
Well, many times with the advisors and the guidance counselors and the recruiters, for the most part, the students want to know exactly how much it's going to cost them
Okay.
to actually to attend a college. And then from our perspective, we then share, how to submit the FAFSA application. These are some resources available for you.
Sure.
What do you need to do? What step 1, step 2, step 3
Oh,
is
so you really
needed?
break it down
we
for
really
them.
break down the process of what's needed.
Awesome.
Even during their classroom time, or even doing just a quick resource fair.
Yeah.
We try to break down that information to them because, again, a lot of students think that it's not affordable and they can't go, or for some odd reason they will not get accepted into the university
Sure.
because of their GPA and things like that. But it's ways that the students may have an opportunity to attend a university, Purdue Northwest.
Love that.
Because they have to get out there and they have to talk and have a conversation
Yeah.
and communicate.
Yeah.
And sometimes they shy away from asking those questions.
Yeah.
So when we meet with those students and their families, or sometimes just a student, we try to provide some of that information. And again, we put them at ease
Yeah.
to let them know these are the things that you're eligible to receive.
Yeah.
We do some calculation. I always say adding and subtracting.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to break it down that way in layman's terms.
Yeah.
So, so that they can understand the process.
I love that.
And understand what is available to them
Sure.
and for them and their families.
Sure. So if there's like a college fair, it was either a presentation or, like you said, a resource
Presentation,
fair.
resource
But
fair.
our recruiters right now are mainly participating in fairs on
Yeah.
high schools. If I'm a student in
Yeah.
high school and my guidance counselor says there's a college fair, what would I experience there? Or why should I sign up for that?
Yeah, so if there's a college fair, it's typically going to be a bunch of different colleges representing anywhere from 10 to 40, 50, 60 upwards. You can browse a bunch of different schools, and it's a great way if you're at the beginning of your college search to kind of see the balances and the checks of all the different universities that are around.
Perfect.
Always you want to be looking at talk to your parents first and say, like, what is actually possible for me, and then kind of go from there. But you want to look at, what's the tuition cost? How big is the school? How big are the classes there? what kind of on-campus things. I always tell students to look at like what their favorite parts of high school is. If your favorite
awesome.
part of high school is connecting with your teachers, then you're going to want a smaller campus that you're going to get a lot of connection with your teachers. If your favorite part of high school is being in Spanish club or being in student government, like look for colleges that have those things because it's going to make that bridge from college or high school to college so much easier for you because you're going to have those communities that you already identify with and
Great
those
advice.
traits,
It
and
is.
you're going to be able to find those things at the university.
Absolutely.
So a college fair is a great way to kind of narrow down a huge list of
Yes.
colleges to a smaller list.
Yeah.
And then you want to go on the college visits and see
Yeah.
as many as you can because once you get on campus, you're going to feel like, oh, is this a good fit for me or is this,
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
Like
Yeah.
we've
Right.
had students that are
Right.
like, I was dead set on going to this college. And then I walked on and I was like, the vibe was off. And I was like,
vibe.
I
Yep.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
And it was.
So it's important to visit and talk to
visit,
reps.
yes.
Yeah.
But
Get-
even if you're not like ready to have any of those conversations and you're just kind of interested in a school, just walk up. And even if you don't say anything, just stand there for a second.
That's right.
The reps with us or the reps with other schools, we're all trained to like engage with you and start that conversation and kind of pull out what they need. So we see that a lot too, where it's
great
like a
advice.
student
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
walks up and it'll be like, "Hi, how you doing? Do you have any questions?" And they're like,
Paralyzed.
no. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I don't know
great,
what to
let's
ask.
talk
Right.
about you.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
like, at the end of it, it's a great conversation and they're interested in this or that. And so even just that first effort of like
Yes.
standing up and getting there
Yeah.
and just standing in front is
Well, that's,
sometimes,
Absolutely.
that's good because you just basically told them all we want to do is talk about you.
Yeah.
So you really
That's it.
have to
I
stand
love
there,
that.
and the first thing we're going to say is like, "Tell me about you,"
Yeah.
and that's all you're going to have to say.
I
So
love
if
it.
it feels intimidating, or
Yeah.
you've been told, or feel like it's not for you, or I can't
Absolutely.
afford this, or these other like kind of things are running in your head,
Yeah.
it's great to know. You just walk up to the table, PNW, and someone will engage you. They just want to hear about who you are and what you're
Absolutely.
interested in, and then we'll help you figure out what major that might be,
Yeah.
or who else you need to talk to, or like how you make this all work for
Absolutely.
you. So
And then also teaming up with admissions, we sometimes have the opportunity to assist the students and their families complete the FAFSA application.
awesome.
So we take a little bit of time, personal time,
Yeah.
to say let's submit it. Doesn't matter how long it takes us, but let's see if we're able to submit the application.
Okay, and that's a great segue into the
Yeah.
next question, which is everyone used to always say October 1st, the FAFSA's
October 1st.
open,
I
and it's
know.
not open. Can you tell us why or what changes are being made that families need to be aware of?
Yeah, so for the 24-25 FAFSA application, free application for federal student aid. So this FAFSA application generally is available October 1, but because of some changes that are being made, going forward, unfortunately, the application will not be available not until late December
Okay.
of this year. So we don't know December 31. We don't know,
Okay. Okay.
December 15th, but that information will be shared once we get the information.
Okay.
But some of that is one of the changes.
Okay.
That the application generally is available October 1, but now because of the changes and finalizing some of those changes, it will not
Yeah.
be available not until late December.
Okay, is there anything parents can do to start to get ready? So, they have kind of the next couple months.
Yes.
Everyone's waiting to see when it opens. Like,
Yeah.
is there anything parents can start gathering or anything they should expect on the application if they've never even heard of this thing? How do they get ready to fill it out in December?
Right. So what we've been sharing with the students and their families when we team up with admissions is that we want the students to start completing and applying for their FSA ID, which is a federal student aid ID.
Awesome.
Because not only does the student have to create this federal student aid ID, but also the parent and any of their contributors
Okay.
to that FAFSA application must complete that or create this FSA ID, which is the federal student aid ID. So we are encouraging the students and their families to start that process
awesome.
first, because to us, we've heard, and a lot of other people have heard, that it's a long, lengthy process. Can be a little bit challenging, so we encourage them to start submitting that now. So that's what we've been telling the students and encourage them to do when we go into their classrooms.
What would you say to somebody that says, I'm not going to fill that out because I'm not going to get any? I know I don't apply. I know I don't qualify for anything. Why
Well,
should they fill it out?
Well, the first thing I would say is, how do you know that you don't qualify? Because you haven't submitted the
Correct.
application.
Absolutely.
So this is money that can be from the federal and or the state to see what you are eligible to receive.
Sure.
So why not submit the application? Life happens.
Yeah.
We don't know if we are in need of financial
For sure.
assistance. So we're going to submit this application.
Yeah.
So that's how I do that.
Yeah.
Let's submit the application. Let's see what you're eligible for. There's even right now for the 24-25, there's a FAFSA estimator that the students can actually go in, or the families, they can go in to see what they may be eligible to receive based on this estimator. So it kind of give them a little idea of how the application works and what I may be eligible to receive.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When December comes and people are in a panic and don't, this feels way more intimidating than I was expecting, how can PNW help? How can we help families?
Well,
and
certainly,
prospective students?
Yeah, well, certainly, of course, they can come visit me at Loshie Hall Room 118. Give that out there. Shout out to Loshie Hall or Loshie Hall, which is the Enrollment Services Center.
Okay.
For the most part, or they can contact our office. But we are also having a College Go Sunday.
Oh, awesome.
So College Go Sunday will be February 25th. So that
Perfect.
gives the students and their families an opportunity to meet with some of the financial aid administrators or
Awesome.
representatives there to assist them submit the FAFSA application successfully.
Yeah.
But if they want some individual help, certainly just come visit us in our office, at Purdue Northwest, Loshie Hall Room 130 or Loshie Hall Room 118.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Our application is open as well. So you
It
can
is.
find our application
Yay.
to apply for PNW, pnw.edu. There's a gold bar at the bottom, the word apply. We've redesigned our app this year, so it's very user-friendly, very student-friendly, very mobile-friendly. So if you're hanging out in your room at night and you're like, I'm going to get this college application done, ours is mobile-friendly now. So you just log into
love that.
pnw.edu, and it was built mobile first so that
that.
it was really accessible to students. So we're not going to ask you any questions that are too challenging that you couldn't just answer from, the comfort of your own home on your couch or in your
love
bed.
that.
We know how teenagers are, so we wanted the application to be really accessible and easy. Some things that I think I would point out, and then Raven, let me know if you think of anything else from the app, but knowing if you have dual credit or not. Have you taken any college classes while you were in high school? I think that's going to help your advisor get you the best classes. So knowing about your dual credit. Do you have AP, and do you plan on taking any of the AP tests to get a score to kind of have that count towards college credit? Those are great things to know about. We're going to ask you for your transcript. So we say the word transcript all the time. Some students might not know what that is or how to get it. So how would I get my transcript and make sure that it's attached to my application? So we have a service called Parchment. You can ask your guidance counselor. A lot of students in Raven's office can help answer your questions if you're like, I submitted my app, but I haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
Well, it could be because your transcript hasn't been submitted yet.
Yeah.
So just getting all your documents ready and getting all your things ready to roll, I think is a great thing for students to do. Touching base with your guidance counselor is probably a good idea. So
Always, yeah.
all the students in high school have a guidance counselor. Just go ask that person for a meeting. Tell them what your goals are. Talk to them about majors maybe. They know if you're good at math or not. So I think a really easy informal conversation is good to have
Absolutely.
with your guidance counselor and just chat through your options and see what's available to you.
And then, too, let them know your intentions after you graduate if you do decide to go to PNW or somewhere else, to let them know to send over your final transcript because we need to know that you graduated high school and got the degree. So touching base with them to make sure they send that over when you graduate is great. And then it's one thing that you check off your list.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if you're really set on where you want to go to school, get that application in early. I think a lot of scholarship money, if you want to come to PNW, we want you to fill out that application right away. We want to know you're coming. We want to start getting you connected to campus. We have a lot of things on campus that admitted students can come to. So I think if this is your school and you want to be here, the sooner the better. We can start getting you connected. You can start meeting with financial aid people and get that help in December and have everything ready to roll by the time it's time to meet with your advisor and get your classes. So I think the earlier the better. we would love to know that you intend to come here and start to make PNW feel like your home and start to get you connected and talk to you about resources and housing if you need to live in housing. That's
yeah.
something
Yeah.
we haven't talked about yet. So a lot of times campus housing is at a premium and
Yes.
rooms sell out early. So if you're somebody who knows they want to live on PNW's campus, I think it's good to fill out the housing application early
Absolutely.
to ensure that you get housing and make sure that your app's good to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and all those things.
So early applications across the board.
Yes,
Right?
getting your ducks in a row and making sure everything's ready to go.
Absolutely.
Raven mentioned it
Yeah.
earlier, having a conversation with your parents and talking to them about
Yeah.
your
Oh,
goals,
definitely.
I think is a good.
is.
Do they have money set aside for you? Do they intend on helping you? Are you going to kind of fund this on your own? Because I think that'll help when they come chat with you.
It absolutely helps. And then also for our Indiana residents, for 21st Century Scholars, certainly they have to submit their FAFSA application by
Sure.
April 15th deadline date. So for Indiana residents,
Sure.
not just the 21st Century Scholar, but
Yeah.
to receive the Frank O'Bannon grant as well. So talking to your parents, talking to the guidance counselors, talking to anyone outside or even at Purdue
Yeah.
Northwest. Look,
Yeah.
Purdue Northwest. So we'll be there to help. We're there to help
Yeah.
the students and their families to submit the applications on time and in a timely fashion.
And even if
Yeah.
you're not sure where to start that conversation, setting an appointment with Tanika and financial aid or any of our admission specialists is a great way to start
Absolutely.
and kind of just figure out, like, what do I even need to talk about? Like, for some people, college is so scary and there's so many what ifs and so many I don't even know what I don't
path?
know.
Right.
Absolutely.
So starting with something as easy as setting an appointment, going to the meeting, bringing your parents, and just having a conversation about, like, okay, this is great. I love this. Let's
Absolutely.
talk more about this or whatever. So
So even if
agree.
it's not from like a financial aid perspective, I'm a senior at Lake Central and I'm super confused. Who do I call on our team? How do I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is that person for me at PNW? Like,
Carissa Jones.
so you call
There she
every
is.
senior in this area
Yes.
has
Yeah.
a guy, has a counselor, a admission specialist on our campus
Yes.
who can help you. So if you
Love
are
it.
just totally clueless and don't know where to start, and it has much more to do with just anything, not just paying for college,
Yeah.
we have a person who's your dedicated admission specialist who can answer all those questions. I don't know what I want to study.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what other things
Absolutely.
can they talk to Carissa about?
Talk
anything.
about her, what she wants, what do you want to study? Are you thinking about living on campus? What kind of student activities do we offer? What do our different labs look like for students? So the great thing is that you can meet the admission specialists on our campus, but they're also in your schools. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you are at lunch and there's a table that has a Purdue Northwest tablecloth, that's one of our people. If you're
Perfect.
having any instant decision days where you can apply on the spot and be told if you're going to be accepted or not. Like,
Yeah.
that's going to be your admission specialist. So connect with them, even if you're not quite ready to apply or to get there, but just grab a card on your way over. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of our admission specialists have virtual drop-in hours too. We know that students are busy and coming to campus might
Yes.
be as easy, if they're playing a sport or have after-school activities that they're involved in.
Yes.
So we have virtual drop-in availability too for financial aid, I think, and for
Absolutely.
our admission specialists. So
Yes.
the Point, which is Raven's office, has a virtual drop-in option. I mean, there's a lot of places where you can go ask all of your questions.
Absolutely.
And just drop into someone's Zoom room and get all your
Absolutely.
questions answered. So I
Yeah, I
think
agree.
that's really convenient too.
Yeah. Very convenient.
Very convenient. Yeah, especially like who would have thought we were talking about virtual drop-in
I
hours
know.
3 years ago? Everyone would have been
At-
like, "You're crazy," but
Right. Make an
it's-
appointment.
It's
Right.
so it's such a great opportunity for students who
Yeah.
have a busy schedule. It's 15 minutes. You get a
That's
bunch of
it.
questions answered. I just had this quick question about my application.
Yeah,
Like,
I love it.
How do I get this done? So,
Yeah, I love it.
yeah, PNW loves being a first choice option in the region. We love that we
Yes.
serve Lake Porter and LaPorte County, and we welcome all senior students to come and check us out. If you think you know who we are, or you think, I met with some students last night who were from the region, and they said, I was going to come here, and it just was my choice, and I had all these like preconceived thoughts about who PNW was, and they were like, my mind is blown about everything more that it's been to me.
Yeah.
I live in housing, even though I'm from the region. I've joined 3 orgs, and I'm a president of this student organization, and
Yeah.
just all these things that made them so surprised at this like gem right here in their backyard. That's PNW. So I think it just has so many good opportunities for students
Yes,
in and
it is.
around the region. So
I agree.
You've both been doing this a long time. What other advice, like what, if you had to give like a senior a good piece of advice right now for their college search in the region, like what piece of advice would you guys have for students in and around the region and starting their college search? Like what would your piece of advice be?
Well, I just start off with, if you think college is not affordable, think again, because it is affordable, and there's many different opportunities and resources out here for you that can assist you with some of those college costs.
Sure.
So just come see me.
If you think it's not affordable, it is. Come
It
see
is.
Tanika.
Come see Tanika.
She'll show you the money.
I'll show you the money.
Raven, what would your piece of advice be?
Mine is a two-part. So first is going to be ask questions. I think that there's so many assumptions about college and going to universities and stuff, but it's because like no two schools are the same. And so what might happen at IUN is different than what happens at PNW, is
Sure.
different than what happens at Indiana State. So make sure you ask questions from the individual schools that you're looking at, but also start a notebook to get organized.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Write the name of each school you're considering at the top and like pros and con lists. And then if you create a login for your application, put it on that page, because we get so many students that are like, oh, I lost my password, or I can't remember why I did this, or like I had a question, but I don't remember what it was.
Yep.
Like keep one notebook, questions, pros and cons,
Yes.
Passwords.
contacts,
Passwords.
staple cards in there,
Yeah.
passwords, like,
Yeah.
and then you have this one safe space that like you can always look back on when you're making those big decisions.
I love that. So
And even a dedicated contact person, you know,
Yeah.
because sometimes they're comfortable speaking with one person.
Sure.
Yeah.
So maybe a dedicated person that they can jot down, like instead of saying, oh, I don't know who I spoke
Sure.
to.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
maybe have that contact information available.
love that. Love that. Well,
Yeah.
thank you both so much for coming on with
Thank
me
you.
today. These two are just two great examples of all the people who can help you with your college search on PNW's campus. So come check us out, pnw.edu, apply, reach out to Tanika and
Yes.
Lashi 118,
Yes.
and come see Raven in the Welcome Center. We'd love to have you on PNW's
Absolutely.
campus for fall 2024. Thank you so much.
Thank you.